Hey guys, this is Bear, and today we're going to talk about the selection sort. We'll just talk conceptually about how this works without trying to implement it. In the past, we've written the sort together in C#, but we're just going to whiteboard this one. If there are any language-specific tutorials you'd like us to make, just let us know in the comments down below. So, the selection sort is an algorithm which sorts an unsorted array in place. In place means that we only need a constant amount of space. We won't allocate any new data structures, and we will just swap elements within the existing array. Imagine the array up top will be our input, and the array on the bottom will be the desired state once our sort has run. If we just visually compare our unsorted and sorted lists, we can see that the number 1 should be our first element, the number 2 should be our second element, number 3 should be our third element, and so on. The selection sort works to make a sorted array by identifying or selecting the element for each position systematically. We could do this by making a series of passes over the array. In our first pass, we will attempt to identify the lowest value in the entire array. As we can see visually looking over it, this is the number 1, currently in our 4th position. To make our passes, we will iterate over the array in a loop, keeping track of the index of the element we are currently inspecting. We will also keep a value storing the index of the smallest element we have seen thus far. Each element we inspect in our pass will be compared to this smallest value, and if the current element is smaller, we will replace it. Take notice as this occurs when we are at index 3. We compare the value at the current position, 1, with the smallest value we have seen so far, 5. Since 1 is smaller, we will update this min index value with the current position. Our loop continues until we get to the end of the array. We encounter no element smaller than 1, so our min index value doesn't change. With our first pass complete, we now know that the value 1, which is at index 3, is the smallest value in our array. This means it should be moved into the first position. We accomplish this by swapping the first position element with the element we know to be the smallest. We now have a subset of our array, just the first position, which is sorted correctly. We are ready to make another pass to identify the second smallest element. Since we now only need to sort the last 5 elements, our second pass can start its evaluation by looking at the second element first, skipping over the first element entirely. This pass just repeats what we did last time. We loop through and ultimately identify the value 2 as the smallest value in the unsorted portion of our array. We swap the number 2 into the second position, and we now have 2 elements in the correct position. Our third pass starts at the third element, or index 2. We perform the exact same process as before, and ultimately determine 3 is the smallest element remaining in the unsorted portion of the list. We then swap it into the correct position. With 3 elements correctly sorted, we just repeat this process a couple more times. Each pass gets us 1 element closer to having the sorted array. Notice here on our 4th pass that the number 5 is selected as the smallest element, but that it is already in the correct position. For the sake of simplicity in your algorithm, you can usually just swap it with itself. This results in no change to your array. One more quick pass results in the swap of our last 2 elements, the number 6 and the number 9, to ensure they are in the correct order. This ultimately leaves us with our unsorted subset of the list having a single element remaining. Based on what we have done so far, though, we know with certainty this is the largest element in the original array, and is in fact already in the correct position. There is nothing more for us to do, and we have a sorted list. With our sorted list all in place, that's it for today. If you have any questions, if you'd like to see us implement this selection sort in a language you're trying to learn, or if you'd like to see something else entirely, just let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.